Ladies and gentlemen, you are here right now listening to the Minot Sports Podcast. Not just any particular episode of the show. Get ready, because we are back with more excitement and new beginnings. That is right, people. We are now officially on to Season 2 of the podcast, where it also signifies I, your host, am now beginning sophomore year at the college and in the wonderful KMSU studios. So welcome, Minot sports fans, to this new season. Happy first day of school to all of those at Minot State University. Let's make it a good one this year, even with all the restrictions in place. I know with all sorts of positivity, we can all get through this. So welcome, gang. Just want to remind you guys that the Minot Sports Podcast is a production of KMSU TV and Radio. We are steamrolling into Season 2, and what better to talk about local sports information that we just so desire. How lucky we are in some cases, other times not so much, but truly we are lucky to have some sort of news to talk about. And if you look at a calendar, for a day like this, the quantity may not be there on the list, but it certainly has some good qualities to it. And what do I mean by quality? Well, let's get this new season and show on the road. Talking about quality, well, maybe rather, I guess, if you want to call it making it work or making it count. That is what Magi Tennis has been doing. They've had their first two home matches at the wonderful Hammond Park, hosting Jamestown, the Blue Jays, and then the Coyotes from Williston. And what do you do when you're facing a club that's not from Bismarck or Grand Forks or Fargo or wherever, a divisional opponent maybe making their case to be good this year? What exactly do you do? Try not to overlook them. This is where you just put your work boots on and just go to work. Do it how you've always been doing. That's what Magician's Tennis is doing right now. Putting down both the Coyotes and the Blue Jays by a combined score of 16-2. The first overall matchup score against the Blue Jays was 9-0. Like I said earlier, on the most recent Summer Series show, transitioning from that to the new season, Minot High winning all the singles, all the doubles matchups for that combined score, giving Jamestown absolutely no chance. And it was almost just a repeat of that same tempo, that same energy, that same game plan. Yeah, Williston got a few in there, but still, Minot just not giving the few teams a chance. Now, we'll know for sure how the rest of the season will go out once Minot High faces some different competition, but unquestionably, this is a good start for them. And if they can get rolling this early in the season, that may pay dividends. But when you talk about the competition these tennis guys face, the start helps. The question is, can they keep this up against the higher end competitors in the WDA conference? This may be one of the more underrated teams here in town. And they've had success in the past. There were an abundance of great players that paved the way through the program. I would say when looking at this team right now, I'd say don't sleep on them. We still have a full season to go through, and we'll really know what these guys are all about. But as far as right now, keep an eye on them because you never know what they could do. I spoke to Coach DeLorme earlier, and he said it right. Young, youth, but experienced. Talent and family ties are in there. Only 2 seniors. But I think there's nothing to worry about that because they will make the most of their veteran leadership at this time. Tonight, or rather today, they traveled to Bismarck to take on the Bismarck Legacy Sabres. Still that young school producing more and more programs with more and more students gaining interest in other things as we speak. They probably started out with a few sports, and then as the school grew, that meant interest in other activities grew. And so Legacy, they're on their way up there. We're starting to see them make their case in the WDA bubble. And they're telling everyone else, saying, look out for us, because we aren't going to be passengers. That is one thing, Minot High fans, to keep in mind. Legacy is starting to creep up as that potential threat competitor, keeping tabs with all the other participants in the WDA conference. I feel like I gave this spiel already, but I'll say it again. I think for tennis, keep that momentum going. That'll add on to the good start, and then you'll start to feel much better as the season goes along. Growth of confidence, more experience, and who knows, you might get on a hot streak here. They actually started at 2 o'clock today as I'm recording this. First day of school at Minot State, August 25th, Tuesday. We shall find out as soon as we can if the hot start is still intact. One team that we don't have to go in depth about too much after doing the season preview with their respective coach, Minot High Boys Soccer, getting it on also in Bismarck tonight, but facing the Century Patriots, one of the teams clearly you don't want to miss your chances against. A prime time showing at the Dakota Community Bowl in Bismarck, North Dakota. That is a matchup to watch and to keep highlights on. I think for Minot High, 1-1 now on the season. Just keep up with the likes of Bismarck Century, Bismarck High, because, Coach said it right. Coach Bachmeyer, the higher quality teams like to play with a lot of pace. They can really wear you out. I think if Minot High matches that, and again, Coach Bachmeyer saying to be technically sound, this should be a good one. This week in the recruiting roll call, I missed it last week. Won't forget it again. I thought there weren't any to report on. I guessed wrong. We do have, in fact, a Minot High men's hockey recruit to get to. So listen closely for this one, because it is forward Jagger Thiessen of the Okotoks Bisons. They are from the Heritage Junior B Hockey League. Although we have seen some student athletes still having to go through their senior years of high school that have committed to Minot State, we cannot say officially yet on this segment until it is made official by the respective Minot State sports athletics on their social media pages. And so that is it for this week's recruiting roll call. As I am recording this, we just got an update down in Bismarck that both the Magicians and Sabres are tied at a team score of 3 apiece after the singles matches. So really a highly competitive matchup that could just maybe go down to the wire. So deadlock between those two, we will certainly have the final report on it on the social media pages later. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you have just made it through the first episode of the new season. I'm really looking forward for you guys to see all of the new content and episode series being worked on here in the studios. As I alluded to earlier, let's make it a great school year, and hopefully as we grind through it, that there will be a positive breakthrough and normalcy will really feel like normalcy. I want to remind you guys again that the Minot Sports Podcast is a production of KMSU TV and Radio, with thanks to our in-house KMSU supporters/sponsors in Joshua Strong Photography and the MSU Red and Green newspaper. Josh is always working hard and constantly gets the best photography shot he can get, while also pledging to improve his craft every day. While the MSU Red and Green will always keep Minot State students informed with the top stories going on around Minot State campus. Minot sports fans, we're just getting started in the new season, and let's make it a good one. I'll talk to you guys later, take care, and have a good day. Stay healthy.